Now that my two floating decks and wooden stairway path is done, the next thing to take care of is from here, down through here, down to the end of the stairway path, we are putting in a wheelbarrow path. And my wife said, I don't want you just to throw some dirt down and call it finished. She said, I want it to be nice. I said, well, what are you talking about? So anyhow, the first step was I had a big root system here to go over. So I laid down some leftover gravel from the past building project, and then I hit it with some paver base. I had the same situation up here, pretty good size root. Oh, I don't know, 3-4 inches up off the ground. Filled it up with gravel there and then added paver base. What I'm going to do is take this soil and gravel and Chapel Hill gravel mix. Chapel Hill gravel is this light looking stuff here. That's Chapel Hill gravel. So what I'm going to do is get this spread out over top of this, over top of this, and over top of this as well. And I am going to get a raised up, and then I'm taking my tamper to it and tamping my brains out as I go all along up to the end of the wheelbarrow path. My wife will get exactly what she wanted, a nice, finished, stable, not going to wash away path for me to use for the next phase in preparing my wheelbarrow path. I'm getting this area leveled out here, and I'm going to work the dirt up to a level of leveling out this area, covering up this area here. And I'm going to try and get at least up to floating deck 1 today. I have extended my tamped down, somewhat leveled out and dirt here. I think that will be sufficient so far for what I'm trying to achieve. I added some more dirt layer, tamped it down pretty well, making my way up to that covered up root with gravel and the paver base. And basically my second pile is about gone. My original pile, I'm working in to that. So things are proceeding. I decided to push on through and get this base of tamped down soil completely installed. I thought I would finish right up there today at floating deck 1, but you know, that 2 piles of dirt there were just saying, use me, use me. So I kept at it and kept at it and worked myself as hard as I could, and I got it all the way up to where I wanted it to end, right around there. And I had enough dirt to do it and get things nice and level, just the way I want. An update on the progress of my wheelbarrow pathway. I got talking with my wife yesterday, and we started doing calculations and adding up numbers and looking at supplies that were going to be needed. And she had ordered the GeoGrid supply that would run 4 feet by 40 feet. Not too difficult to install, really. But then we started pricing gravel. It's not cheap. I thought it was cheap. I don't know what I was thinking about. But the number 57 gravel that we would need was going to take multiple cubic yards. And we were looking at, not including the GeoGrid that we'd already bought on Amazon, the gravel alone for a simple wheelbarrow path was going to run like $300. Plus the GeoGrid was going to be another $60. And I said, my wife was like, what? I said, look, right here. This is what we're looking at. So she and I both decided, forget the gravel, forget the GeoGrid. She went ahead and canceled her order at Amazon. What we have decided to go with as far as any continuation of making this pathway better or stable or whatever, we have decided to go with the old tried and true trusted landscape timbers. So we're going to have kind of an echo theme of landscape timbers are going to run along here and around there, and we're going to have landscape timbers running along here. Now the major component of this soil is not so much soil as it is this product here called Chapel Hill gravel. And it is made to pack down as a firm ground covering. So we're not looking at a whole lot of erosional events going on. But to have that finished look, we are going to purchase, I've already got 5 landscape timbers stored under the deck here. That's going to be 40 feet. So I can buy 5 more. So we'll have a landscape timber running here, which is probably the most likely area for runoff erosion when water hits this path. And for a finished look, not so much functional, but for finished, my wife wants landscape timbers on the other side. And geez-a-loo, those are a lot cheaper than $300 worth of gravel. We're looking at spending, I don't know, another 40 bucks for landscape timbers to run on this side. And then we will have a nice finished look. And I think that'll be just fine. I think $40 and the really quick labor of laying out landscape timbers is a lot better than the labor going into putting in GeoGrid, having some guy deliver 3 or 4 cubic yards of gravel, which I've got a wheelbarrow in from my driveway, and cover the grid. And no. Landscape timbers, a lot easier, and it's going to do a nice job. And this Chapel Hill gravel is going to resist erosion. And over time, and over foot traffic and wheelbarrow traffic, and maybe a little bit more tamping in, it's not going to jump ahead right to the end. Wheelbarrow path completed. Like I said, we decided to go with landscape timbers as outlined from the rock wall on down to the oak tree. A little bit of jog there. All the Chapel Hill gravel is tamped down nice and tight. Voids we had on this landscape timber and this one here, they are now filled in. So rainwater's going to want to go that way, which is a good deal. So there it is. Looks pretty good. I thought I would mention to you, instead of regular landscaping nails, I went with 12-inch rebar to go down there deep and hold things quite secure for a long time. And I do this thing with rebar that helps them go through anything you run into. I put the tip, let's see if I can focus. Yeah, I put the tip at the grinder and put a point on it. And that helps with situations like I hit here. I hit a root. Well, with the tip on the landscape, or on the rebar, it was easy peasy. It went right in, nice and tight. And if I hit in a collection of rocks or whatnot here, that tip just split the rock and everything went in nice and tight. I've got a video up that's pretty popular on that rebar hack. I'll put a link to that. But the wheelbarrow pathway is done. The extra 3 landscape timbers that I had to buy and the 12-inch rebar was a total of about 85 bucks, which is a whole lot better than the geogrid and gravel, which was going to run us between $300 and $400. I can cough up 85 bucks all day long. And the soil, Chapel Hill gravel, that was just reused from another project where I had to get it out, and it came in handy. And some of the landscape timbers, like here, these guys here, and up in here, this guy here, they were just stuff I had laying around the house. So that was a past expense. But anyway, there it is. Do you think it looks good, Mr. Windchime? He agrees. I did indicate my wheelbarrow path was all finished. But I had this little addenda here, which sort of reflects on the wheelbarrow path and the set of steps and floating decks I put in. My wife wanted some finishing touches, but sort of divided the path here from the deck here. So she got these really nice post bases, which are metal, and I bought some 4x4s, and we got some nice brass caps. And it's a way for people who are up on the deck to sort of visually realize here's the edge, and they don't step off and hurt their ankle or whatnot. And it's we thought about putting rope between them, but that's kind of overkill. Just this visual thing here looks nice. So if you want to have a little addenda to your deck, 20 inches worth of 4x4 and some pole bases or post bases. Very easy to install, very easy to get them lined up and nice and vertical, and adds a nice touch. Kind of says things are finished. Wooden stairwell and wheelbarrow path. So that's the end of major projects in the backyard for a while.